This is Chapter 7 of the summary of my book, entitled Mean King. Bethany's inner dialogue is, I can never lose with God on my side. I'm excited to have the date with you, Your Majesty, she says. Then all the other candidates to be queen look disappointed. King then thinks, I'm very impressed with Bethany. A way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm very interested in her. I could see myself falling for her. Maybe I should start treating her better. I just don't want Amina to think I'm rejecting her. I want to see how it's like to be with a foreign woman. Also, I wonder what Sarah brings to the table. Amina's inner dialogue is, I'll show her. I'm going to devise a plan to interrupt her date with King Uz. The plan that I did earlier kind of worked. I don't know what happened. King Uz took my side after my first plan about the makeover. Then Bethany redeemed herself at breakfast by saying she can cook shakshuka. Then all the candidates to be queen and the first had a cook-off, which that gremlin, Bethany, won, but she needs to stay in her lane. Then Sarah's inner dialogue is, I'm going to teach myself how to cook to impress King Uz. The next morning, Bethany gets up and hops in the shower to bathe. Amina was already up by that time, because she had insomnia worrying about Bethany and King Uz's date. Amina walks down the hallway, trying to find Bethany's bedroom because she wants to go in Bethany's bedroom and do something bad to Bethany. She doesn't necessarily have a plan yet, but she figures she can sneak in Bethany's bedroom and something will come to her. Amina sees a maidservant in the hallway, so Amina decides to ask the maidservant where Bethany's room is and work her magic to get answers out of the maidservant. So Amina goes up to the maidservant and says, Where's Bethany's room? Why? The maidservant asked, suspiciously. Bethany told me to meet her at a certain time because she wants me to help her get ready for her date with the king. I just forgot what room she is in. Just then Sarah, who woke up a few minutes earlier and was going out of her room and walking into the hallway to go borrow a blow dryer from her friend in another room, noticed Amina and the maidservant. Sarah decides to see what they're up to and if it has something to do with Bethany. Sarah approaches Amina and the maidservant. What are you two up to? Sarah asked, curiously, crossing her arms and putting out her foot and tipping her toe. Amina and the maidservant remain quiet because Amina doesn't want to expose herself, and the maidservant doesn't want to snitch on Amina and become Amina's enemy. Answer me, Sarah says, loudly to Amina and the maidservant. The maidservant just looks down at the floor. Then Amina decides to make something up and says, Bethany asked me to help her get ready for her date with the king, so the first was asking the maidservant a question about that. What's the question? Sarah asked. The question is, what room is Bethany in? Amina admitted, mentally kicking herself because she told her plans of going into Bethany's room when her and Bethany weren't close to someone who could easily use this piece of information against her. Sarah had an inkling that Amina planned to do something bad to Bethany, and her inner dialogue was, if Amina has a plan to make Bethany look less of a good option to be queen in King Uz's eyes, I'm in. She then pulls Amina aside and says, you and I both know you're not doing something out of the goodness of your heart, Spill. Okay, I want to do something bad to Bethany. Don't tell anyone, Amina said. Not even your friend, Deborah? No. Not even Deborah, Amina tells Sarah, because she didn't intend on anyone finding out, and she thought that the less people knowing, the less chance she would get caught by King Uz. So Sarah and Amina go back to the maidservant that they were initially talking to, and they persuade her by basically lying to her, saying they're going to help Bethany get ready for her date with King Uz, and the maidservant thinks Amina will get her way, somehow in some way. So there's no point in refusing to tell them which room Bethany is in. They go to Bethany's room while she's in the shower and steal a Victoria's Secret body spray, and then they leave the room, snickering. When Bethany is finished bathing, she dries off, lotions up with Vaseline cocoa butter body lotion, and then puts on her clothes, which are a Lacoste polo shirt
and a Lacoste skirt, socks, and Balenciaga runners, which King Uz provided for their date, and she puts on some makeup. When she's done, she looks for her Victoria's Secret body spray but can't find it. The show must go on. She thinks, then a maidservant enters her room and tells her that King Uz is waiting in the lobby for her, and they both exit her room and make their way to the lobby. Once in the lobby, Bethany sees King Uz, who's dressed to the nines. He's wearing a Lacoste polo shirt, dark denim, Levi jeans and a Rolex watch and Puma sneakers. Bethany also notices he smells really good. "You smell good," she comments. "Thanks, must be my Burberry cologne." "You smell good too." "Thanks, Your Majesty," Bethany says, grinning. "Not today, Satan," she thinks. "Are you ready to go?" "Yes." They leave the palace and enter a limousine that was waiting outside for them, along with one of King Yu's staff members, for assistance. In the limo, Bethany asks what activities they would be doing on their date. "It's a surprise," King Yu answered. They first arrive at an arena. The arena polo club they went to was owned by Bethany's Uncle Thomas, which was Aunt Rose's husband. Bethany would go there to watch the matches on occasion. Arena polo is played with 3 players per team who compete in an enclosure that measures approximately 100 yards in length and 50 yards in width, with the objective of driving the ball between the opponent's goalposts. King Yu and Bethany watch the polo match. If you liked this video, like, subscribe and share for more videos.